Yeah.
Can't be bothered to look into.
That's right.
It.
Comic books. Why not? Why not?
Comic books.
So I don't have any new comic books, obviously, but I've been reading a lot of older comic books. This time has let me has made it available, and I've been doing reviews. Like I said, I'm going to have one on Friday,
Go big.
12:30, something like that. It's about a half hour. And let's do this. Let us do that. Sorry, guys. All right. What do you think of that, ATN?
I like high contrast.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It seems like a Superman title, though.
It is.
In which case, I would not pick it up.
Yeah, I don't think this would be something that you would dig.
No.
But you might dig the artwork a little bit. So this cover is by Dave Johnson. He does 100 Bullets covers. He mostly is just a cover artist these days. He is a good illustrator. He gets better than this. But
prove it.
Prove it. Go look at 100
guess.
Bullets. Yeah.
Nah, I'm not going to do that.
I don't know. The covers are okay, but they're not my favorite. But like you said, high contrast. At least he's doing something here. You can see he's forging the S. It's a new emblem. It's kind of a new take on the character because we have a new creative team. And it's Christopher Priest and Dennis Cowan. And the very first page, you see Steel's hammer is stuck in this engine block. And since he's downgraded his armor, he's having a hard time getting it out. And it's really super violent. He's moved to New Jersey.
Which is super violent.
Jersey City, New Jersey.
Yeah, nothing but muggers out there.
I guess so, especially in the 90s. This is like 97.
Everybody's got a gun.
Yeah, man. Anyway, it's just really nice artwork. I like how he changes his panel layouts too. So you go long, and then vertical.
Uh-huh.
And then here he's just going all the way. Look at this HIV. He's got blood on him, and they're like HIV, and they're running away. It's like this is kind of funny.
Sign of the times, man. Sign of the times.
Yeah. So then Steel shows up. Boom! Look at this guy. He just threw his hammer. It was pretty sweet. I've always liked Steel. He was introduced when Superman died. There were 4 new Supermans that were created, and he was one of them. Yeah. And actually, I'm a big fan of the character. And this is the first time I've read the Christopher Priest stories. And I thought, Jeff was going to be talking about Ta-Nehisi Coates' Black Panther. And since I've been reading these, I thought it'd be a neat little juxtaposition.
How does he feel about those?
I think he likes them, but I personally found they were boring.
I remember.
This is not. There's a lot of action here. It's like, boom. He's trying to get his hammer back, but he can't. So this guy shoots him.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, but it ricochets off, and then you see what happens to the dude.
Bang, bang, bang.
And he's dead. Yeah, boom.
Oh, there's actual death involved?
Yeah, dude, he died. He shot him, and then the cops are like, freeze. Or I guess these guys are like, freeze. And then you find out that, oh man, he shot himself, or he basically shot himself. Yeah.
Yeah. Bounce off, ricochet.
Yeah. And then
Bang,
this
bang.
is like his cop foil, if you will. And she's like running things downtown. And then here's Natasha. So the thing about Steel is that he has a niece. And now she's talking about being in New Jersey, and she meets this kid named Boris. And they start hanging out. And it's kind of like a cute little relationship that they're having.
That boy looks like trouble.
He does. I wonder if he's not screwing with her mind.
He looks like trouble.
Yeah. But this guy is Steele's new boss. It's John Irons is his name. And the guy who's his boss, John Irons' boss, is named Dr. Villain. So Villain.
That's not a giveaway.
He wants to let you know that it's French and it's Wilhelm.
Of course. Hey, Bruce. Welcome.
So John Irons introduces himself, and they have this cute little conversation. And then here we have Natasha.
No, can't see his eyes. That kid's
Can't
trouble.
see his eyes.
Can't see his eyes. No, that kid is trouble. He won't look at her. Nope, she can't date him.
I love some of this artwork. This totally looks like John Romita Jr. right here, like this right around her face. And there's some other things that remind me of other illustrators, but I'm a big Dennis Cowan fan ever since his Question days. And those are really excellent. If you ever want to find a back issue to check out, that's a good one. Here, John Irons is being introduced to the faculty, and then they ask him about his S because they know he's Steel and how he's using Superman's symbol, and then we hear this flashback of Clark basically saying it's cool that you use it. You know, I'm honored, which is cool.
So he licensed it to him for how much money?
No, he's like I said, he's honored. Superman's awesome. Steel's back in like the junkyard trying to get this hammer out, and it's just no way he can do that. And I like this. It's like it's very artfully done. Like we're talking about how he can't leave. He's got to leave his old life behind, you know, because he can't remove all his problems. And you know, you're kind of finding out about them as the story's going along. How he's had to depower his armor for all sorts of BS that happened in previous issues. He had a grandmother, or yeah, I think a grandmother that died, and some other stuff going on. And he basically just ends up bringing the car back home. And that's the end of this first issue. And I'm gonna just show.
It's a good move, bringing the car home.
That's a good
move.
Yeah.
Can't get the hammer out, bring the hammer to you.
This Dennis Cowan, this really reminds me of Walt Simonson a lot. This is the next issue. They really go into telling you like how the character is, like, you know, giving you motivations for him. And so here, there was this crash of this bus, and then here's Nat and the Boris, and they're just kind of walking along. It's just a weird thing that happened. And here again, this is another very Walt Simonson style picture, but really super cool. A lot of people bag on 90s art, but again, Dennis Cowan's really great. And then Nat's calling Iron or Steel, and then firemen are like, hey, maybe you can help out. You know, you got that S in your chest. You know, you're super strong. He's like, no, I'm not. He's all, well, do something. And so he pulls this fireman out of the fire engine, and he runs it into the building to give it more time so that the fireman can escape. But he's pinned in the cab, and he's going to die basically. And so this kind of so there's this power that he has where he can like go to another dimension or something. I don't know. It happened again in previous issues. So here's Priest kind of dealing with the past and trying to like address situations that are occurring, you know, that went with it, not ignoring it. But like a lot of, you know, writers these days do, you know, they get a brand new #1. They're like, you know, we're going to ignore everything that happened or try and like just, you know, get rid of it almost immediately rather than address it. And I like that. And here he has no choice, but he has to use it. And then he's like attacked by this like octopusy kind of thing. Anyway, I think that's pretty cool. Here's another issue where he gets shot in the face. And since I love this. This is just like really cool. And he takes a lot of damage actually, and he like starts passing out and goes to the hospital. And then here's Boris bringing over a watermelon. This is pretty interesting. And she's all, do you not have any idea that I'm black? And he just keeps talking about what a watermelon, you know, electrolytes and shit like that. And she's like finds it endearing that, you know, he doesn't really think about it that way. And then later on they're just spitting seeds anyway. So John Irons has to take it easy, and Nat takes the steel armor out, and then here they have a kiss. That's kind of cute. He says she tastes like a spoon. And then Nat also gets involved, and I really am enjoying it. Christopher Priest going back. So I said there would be a juxtaposition. It's not just that the creators are black. It's that Christopher Priest also wrote Black Panther. And for me personally, he wrote my favorite Black Panther that I ever read, or definitely the majority of Black Panther I ever read was the Christopher Priest run with Sal Valletta and Mark Teixeira. That stuff is really good. Priest is a legend. He also used to be a guy named James Owsley, and he was an editor for like the Spider-Man titles. And I think he did one of the first prestige comic books, which was Spider-Man Wolverine. And that's pretty good too. But Dennis Cowan, the artist on Question, that was like my whole philosophy in life is based around like Oingo Boingo and the Question. It's also very zen. Anyway, yeah, Steel by Christopher Priest and Dennis. I think Dennis Cowan basically did every issue of this run, and it goes all the way to the end, which is 52. So there's like, 25, 27 issues, something like that. Hunt those down.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, think about subscribing and maybe give us a thumbs up too.